Big broadcast. We are coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio today. Also 50 plus AM FM stations across the country and around the world. And we have a great guest. Faith West joins us here on our broadcast, talking a little technology today with NFTs. And Faith, you have an incredible group called Pop Legends. Tell us a little bit about Pop Legends.
Well, Pop Legends sells NFTs of pop culture and pop music icons. So we're getting started with our first drop on this Sunday of Nirvana. These are images that I photographed at a Nirvana concert in front of 150 people just a few weeks before they were famous. It's really exciting.
Wow, that's fantastic. So educate us a little bit on what NFTs are, because I know that there's a lot of folks that are just starting to get into this and understanding what this is.
Sure. So they started out in the gaming community where you earn a token for playing. And then people started to trade tokens independent of games. And then they were connected to the blockchain, which is a sort of a ledger online that everyone can see who owns what token. So this combines the fun of trading cards with the more seriousness of art collecting. So if you went to an art gallery and you bought an expensive piece of art, they would give you a ledger of everyone who owned that all the way back to the original artist. And an NFT has the same sort of ledger, as well as a piece of art that's in sort of a digital trading card form.
Fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. Faith West joins us here on our big program talking NFTs, and Faith is the founder of Pop Legends. She's a professional photographer and freelance music journalist with her Philadelphia-based company. She is doing some amazing things, and she has been published in the Philadelphia Inquirer, Washington Post, and MusicWire.com. So when did you realize you wanted to be a photographer? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
When I was 6 years old, I was already taking pictures that adults were admiring. So I've always had a knack for it, and I've been a professional photographer for over 20 years. I love it.
Fantastic. Faith West with us today. She joins us here talking Pop Legends. And so you have been involved in the music industry for a heck of a long time. Who are some of the bands that you've interviewed and photographed?
Oh, it's a great list. Everybody from, I photographed Van Halen. That's another one that might come out as an NFT if I can get the licensing on that. As well as I interviewed Dave Lowry of Cracker, if you remember that band from
That's
the 90s.
Awesome.
Great,
Yep.
Great band. I've interviewed some of the more folky acts like Richard Thompson, and just some phenomenal shows that I was able to go see too to review, like Peter Gabriel, Sting, for the paper. It was a great ride. And the 90s were an awesome time for rock music.
Faith West joins us here on our big program. She is tremendous. She is here talking about Pop Legends, and they're going to be involved with their first NFT with Nirvana. So what was it like seeing Nirvana before they were famous? Because there are a lot of bands that people see all the time, and then they sort of take off, but they don't take off as well as Nirvana had.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there had been a buzz about them. I'd been a fan in the indie music scene in Philadelphia for a while, and everybody had heard about this band Nirvana. But at the time there was mosh pits at every show, and there could be just as much excitement about what was going to happen on the mosh pit as there was about the band. So I really didn't know what to expect. But once I started just hearing that now legendary combination of heavy metal, punk, and pop music hooks, I was just blown away, and I knew something important was happening, and I started to feel nervous about being there taking pictures because I could tell that I saw rock history unfolding in front of my eyes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It is a Great guest with us today. She joins us live here on our big broadcast. Faith West is with us. Pop Legends is the topic today here on our big program, and a rare early life images of Nirvana is set to be sold as NFTs, making Kurt Cobain's 55th birthday on February 20th. Basically 28 never before seen images from a 91 Club gig just days after the release of their landmark Nevermind album. Proceeds are going to the Trevor Project and Grid Alternatives. And joining us today here on the telephone is Faith West from Pop Legends. So this NFT, I know these things go for an amazing amount of money. How much money do you think this thing's going to be able to raise?
Well, a lot of it's going to charity. So, of course, we're hoping to raise as much as possible. The highest price images in the auction are the gifts of the best images from the set, and those start at about $200,000. But then there's a more affordable sale that are some gifts and still images that are set aside for Nirvana fans that go anywhere from $99 to $499. So there's a huge range.
Fantastic. It's Faith West. She's with us today. Pop Legends is the topic, and we're talking about NFTs today. So how do these NFTs work with digital art and artists? Give us a little bit more details on this.
That's one of the really exciting things about NFTs is that it preserves the copyright for an artist. So there are artists who've had day jobs for years, and they've been able to quit their jobs because of NFTs. It allows them to retain ownership, so that if somebody copies and pastes their work, it doesn't matter because they'll be able to prove that they're the original owner.
That's fantastic. It is Faith West. She's with us today. Pop Legends is the topic, and traditional pop culture collectibles and memorabilia have finally found a home in the NFT space with Pop Legends, and Faith West with us today here on our broadcast. So how does this auction work exactly?
So you do need a cryptocurrency wallet. The most popular one is MetaMask. So if you go to the MetaMask website, you'll be asked to download an extension on your browser, and then you fund it with US dollars, which converts to Ethereum, which is one of the most popular cryptocurrencies. And once the wallet is funded, now you have some funds to be able to purchase at the auction. The sale's a little simpler. You can start out from a credit card and then go from there. However, you will be asked at a certain point in the process to open a wallet because that's where the NFTs live. It's essentially you're purchasing not only a digital piece of art, but also a line of code that proves that you own the image and that it has the image encoded in it, and that line of code lives in your digital wallet.
That's tremendous. It is Faith West with us today. She's the founder of Pop Legend. She's a professional photographer and freelance music journalist, and she joins us today here on KJAGradio.com. So tell us a little bit about some of these Nirvana images that are going to be going up as NFTs.
So, there's just an incredible range of expressions and moods that Kurt Cobain had that night. One of the things that people forget because of course, the tragic ending of his life was that he had a megawatt smile. And he was also stopping between songs to check on the mosh pit and make sure everybody was okay. He was a very thoughtful guy. So you'll see that there's a range of expressions in these images, and sort of the energy of being in a small club with Nirvana is captured there.
That's tremendous. It is Faith West. She joins us here on our broadcast. Pop Legends is the topic, and among the first NFT gateways basically to exclusively feature pop culture icons, Pop Legends aims to bring basically a huge reliable ownership ledger and fun of collecting NFTs to the traditional pop culture memorabilia market. And we're here with Faith West talking about NFTs today. So part of the remainder of the proceeds will benefit Grid Alternatives. What is that exactly?
Yes, Grid Alternatives are a really great nonprofit. They make it possible for working poor families who own their own homes to put solar panels on the roof so that now they just reduce their their expenses by that one utility bill. But also they train underemployed people to be solar installers.
Wow. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
How in the hell did you get hooked up with these folks? It sounds like a cool deal.
Well, I put solar panels on my own house, and it's just so wonderful to not have that one extra bill that I got interested in the topic and just started searching around on the internet to see if there were any nonprofits doing that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Faith West is with us today, pop legend. She joins us here on our big program. So how do people get in touch with you on the website and everything?
Sure. So they can go to poplegendswithaz.com and click through there to either the auction or to the sale. And you'll see, once you click through, you'll see all the NFTs that live on the Rarible platform. That's one of the more popular platforms out there to sell NFTs.
Awesome. So what is the next plan after doing this this Nirvana situation?
Yeah. Well, the next plan is to go out and license more work. I'm actually in touch with a woman who licensed all of David Bowie's stuff until he died.
Wow.
And she'd like she'd like to work with us. She heard about us, and he was a great innovator. I just learned that he actually was one of the first to license stock in his catalog. So, for instance, they wouldn't own the actual rights to the music. They would own a share so that when the music catalog increased in value, the shares would go up in value. It was very ahead of its time.
That is pretty badass.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a similar idea to an NFT, because a lot of the reason that people collect NFTs is that, they will increase in value over time as cryptocurrency becomes more popular. You might have noticed there were 4 cryptocurrency commercials at the Super Bowl.
Yes, everybody and their brother's into crypto now, so I've been trying to figure out who is making the money on crypto, because years and years ago, it was nobody wanted anything to do with crypto, and now all of a sudden we got Super Bowl ads. So somebody somewhere in corporate America is making some money on crypto. Faith West with us today, Pop Legends. She joins us here on our broadcast. How do we get a hold of you on social media, Twitter, Instagram, all these places, if people want to communicate with you?
Sure. So you go to Twitter, and it's pop_legends with a Z.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with this. I think this is a really, really cool idea. And
thank you.
I look forward to hearing more out of you. Thanks for doing this, and I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me on your show. It was
Definitely. Definitely. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you, Faith.
You too.
Appreciate it, my friend. There she goes, the fabulous and talented Faith West. We are going to take a time out. When we come back, we have got more. Thanks for joining us on KJAG Radio.